Okay. Oh, you're in the TikTok video?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm trying to flip the camera there.
You need help?
Maybe. More? Bruh.
I liked it.
Trying to flip the camera on TikTok real quick. Hold up. Sorry.
Oh, we're live on here?
Yeah, sorry.
Welcome everybody to Adams Polish's weekly live video here on YouTube. If you weren't around here from last week, we did a video on restoring black trim. And so I figured just to stay on topic for this week, we would do something around maintaining the trim. So we have a few products here that we're going to be messing with today. If you guys could also make sure that you guys can hear me too. Just throw me a comment and say, hey, audio sounds good or doesn't sound great at all. So I see everybody's starting to filter in now, so it's cool, man. So we have this new Tacoma here, and it's kind of the perfect subject because on these like fender flares, these are nice big plastic pieces, and if we wanted to, I can show you like the bed rails as well. And so these are like a little bit more plastic and vinyl, and this stuff up here is more like rubber. And so I just want to show you guys kind of the difference of these products, and sort of talk about the benefits of each one. And again, so like I said, last Wednesday for the weekly live video, we did how to restore trim. And so once your trim is restored and it's looking good, like this car, this hadn't been restored, but it's kind of getting back to that maintaining piece of it. That's what we're doing on this truck. So trying to stay on topic and just keep going with it. Again, for everybody that's been here the last 3 weeks on the live video, it's trying to snow again. So I'm telling you, every time we go live on Wednesday, it snows every time, which is cool. The other thing I want to mention is if you have questions, make sure you put them in the comments, the live comments here, and we'll address any detailing questions that you have. So whether it's about polishing, ceramic coating, or if it's on topic with maintaining trim, I'm just here to answer your guys' questions, help you guys get an insider look to Adams Polishes, and you have access to me that I'll answer any question that you want. So, okay, so first things first, I want to go through and actually I'm going to take the Adams Polishes tape and I'm going to tape off his fender here. And what I want to do is be able to see the different look that each one of these provides. Granted, two of them are going to be like pretty similar, whereas one of the other ones is going to be a little bit different. So I just want to do a little tape off so we can kind of see the difference. Actually, let's go on the other side because the sun's more hitting it on this side. It'll be a lot easier to see it. So we'll go, let's see, we have, I mean, realistically, we have 3 products. So I'll just create a line here. Probably should have brought the products with me. While I'm taping this off and just hanging out, I'm curious what anything you guys have detailed recently, anything you guys are planning on detailing coming up. I know here in Colorado it's you know, granted it's snowing today through tomorrow, but you know, the good weather is like right around the corner. So we're sort of, everyone here is like gearing up for getting back to washing. And you know, I know for me here, probably in about 2 to 3 weeks, I'm gonna be doing my annual spring cleaning where I do deep clean on my car and get it ready to like go into summer. So yeah, just put in the comments what you guys have detailed or what you are planning on detailing. And again, if you have questions, please feel free. Okay, so VRT and in and out spray, I would say are sort of in the same family along with graphene VRT. Graphene VRT is just like an update sort of to VRT. So very similar type of products between VRT and Graphene VRT. In-N-Out Spray is sort of the super thin spray aerosol version of VRT. So provide a very similar look. I tend to use these when I'm dressing an engine bay. So if I use VRT on the broad surfaces, it looks great, and then In-N-Out Spray gets all the hoses and the accordion hoses and things like that, and the look is the exact same. So it's not like one's more shiny than the other. They provide the same exact look. Then getting into all-purpose exterior dressing, this is a super unique product that's an acrylic-based formula that provides higher gloss for your trim or your plastic, your rubber, or your vinyl. But it also, with the acrylic in it, it tends to last a little bit longer. So I would even say like this all-purpose exterior dressing is on par with how long it lasts with Graphene VRT, being a little bit more robust of a formula for dressing trim. And again, just to reiterate, we're dressing trim that's already great. So if you have trim that's super, super faded, doesn't, you know, it needs something for it, you want to restore that trim. So going back to last week's live video, you can refer to that and understand how to restore your trim. We also have a lot of videos on our YouTube here. And if you're on TikTok, you can check out our YouTube. And we have just a ton of how-to videos, a lot of product-specific videos as well that really educate and help you understand how to use stuff. But
We got a couple of questions.
yeah, a couple of questions.
Leo says, is that all-purpose exterior dressing need to be worked in? I always find it harder to apply than the other dressing. It tends to beat up on the trim.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good question. That was, what was his name?
Leo?
Leo. Thank you for that question, Leo. Yeah, so the thing that's unique about the all-purpose exterior dressing is it's a lot thinner formula than both VRT and Graphene VRT. And because VRT is like a cream, okay? So let me just show you the consistency of these here really quick. So I'll show you like VRT, the way it comes out. It's more of like a cream type of product, right? And what that does actually makes it really easy to kind of work into the applicator and create a thin layer in this and then apply it. So I'll just show you right now. I'll do VRT on this side right here. And actually, let me just wipe it down really quick. I have some tire and rubber cleaner. I'll just spray into a towel really quick, and then we'll just wipe this down to get any excess dirt or grime off. I'll just take the dry part of the towel and clean it.
As you do this, I got a question on TikTok from Adrian.
Yeah. What's up,
As far as,
Adrian?
like dressings and tire dressings, she said, I use a tire armor but turn my tires brown even after washing them.
Okay.
And you're just wondering why. Or
Yeah, so
what's causing that maybe?
yeah. The unique thing about tires is that a lot of time the brown that comes through this, that comes out, that like the brown appearance on your tire, isn't necessarily dirt. Sometimes it can be old tire dressings, but a lot, like 90% of the time, it's called tire blooming. So tire blooming is essentially, there's a mold release agent that the tire manufacturers use when they make the tires. And what happens is that mold release agent, because they put it into a mold, right? And then it has to pop out somehow. And if you just put raw rubber in there, there's no way it's gonna come out. It's gonna stick to the mold. So think of this as like using, you know, Pam spray in your cooking pans before you cook an egg. Like if you don't do it, your egg's gonna stick to the pan. If you do use it, you can take it right off, right? Same thing with the mold release agent. But what happens is it gets incorporated into the rubber and then it starts to come from the inside out. And that's a lot of times what you see, the browning of the tire. So I would say if you have newer tires, I would wait on tire armor before you apply it. If you have newer tires, then, or if you have applied it, then you have to get that tire armor off somehow and then clean the tires thoroughly. And I would just recommend, like I personally tend to use more tire dressings because it gives me a chance to clean not only the old tire dressing off, but also the tire blooming that's happening before I redress my tires. And if you need a tire dressing that's gonna last long, like Graphene VRT or Graphene tire dressing is a great option for that because it will kind of last your next wash then you can clean your tires, scrub them with tire and rubber cleaner, a tire scrub brush, get the tire blooming off, get the old tire dressing off, and then it'll be a nice naked finish and you can reapply it. So, and just so you know, we don't sell it like in like the public eye of like a tire armor remover, but we do have it if you contact through our customer service team. So this person on TikTok, if you need to remove your tire armor, you can contact our customer service and say, hey, I put tire armor on, my tires are browning, I need to get the tire armor off. They can work out the solution for that for you. And then again, like my suggestion is, you know, if that's an issue with the tires you're using, look, some tires bloom more than others. I mean, that kind of sounds weird. It's like a flower, but like, you know, if that's the case, then I would just stick to a tire dressing that you have to, I know it's kind of a hassle, but that you reapply every time you wash, which again, that's just like a personal choice for me because I like when it looks fresh all the time. So, so getting back to the all-purpose exterior dressing, almost like beating up when you apply it. We were talking to some live. What I want to show you is as I put VRT in, I evened it out with my finger. So as you can see, it's like this super, super nice even layer into the applicator. So when I go to apply it, it usually goes on like very, very thin and even. So with the cream, more of the cream style of dressing, it's a little bit easier to get like even and perfect because it just goes on really nice. And we're talking about VRT right now. So that's this product right here, okay? I don't know if I could get this to stay, but essentially that's VRT there. So VRT goes on, it looks really nice, okay? Now, getting into all-purpose exterior dressing, let me just grab something really quick. Just need a sprayer. There we go.
Oh boy, sorry, I'm a little shaky today.
It's all right. Elan's always shaky. Let me get some of this coming out of here. There we go. So, all-purpose exterior dressing. Yeah, I can put it in this, I can control it really good with like the pull top, right? So I can put it in the, I mean, I could cover this whole thing if I want, but I could put it in certain areas, a little bit better control with the pull top. Now, with the all-purpose exterior dressing, what you need to do is, and all I'm gonna do guys today, so I can separate this, is I put VRT here, I'm just gonna turn this a quarter and put the all-purpose exterior dressing here. So this one, you spray on. So you can see how thin of a spray that went on, okay? But because it's a little bit more thin, as you put it on, like he was saying, it's like, it goes on like crazy. I mean, I just did one spray and you can see how much of this is coming out. And like he was saying, you know, you kind of have to work this in a little bit, you know? So what I would tell you is you can see how heavy this is going on, right? And yeah, you kind of need to work it in a little bit. What I like to do is I'll leave it like this. Okay, so you can see it's like pretty uneven right now. I'll let the sun hit that, kind of let it lose some of its moisture. And then what I'll do, you can see it's still very, very thin and heavy in the applicator. I mean, like I can go like this and it's all over me, right? But what I do is once this starts to dry out from the sun a little bit, I can take a fresh side of the applicator. So this is where I sprayed it. This is where VRT is. This is a fresh side of the applicator. I can take the fresh side of the applicator and sort of even this out and knock it down, okay? So just a quick tip on the all-purpose exterior dressing. I wiped it off a little too early. Honestly, it's like, I mean, what do you think the temperature is right now, Elan? It's like,
I think it's like 30.
Yeah, it's pretty cold, and generally,
20 maybe.
Car care in the cold takes a lot longer for it to cure. So put that on there. Okay, So again, it's uneven. I'm gonna let it dry a little bit more and then we'll knock it down. You can either use the side of an applicator or you can even use a towel. And whenever you're working with plastic, I tend to use the edgeless utility towel because it's a woven microfiber, so it won't lint all over your plastic as you use it. Okay, so there's all-purpose exterior dressing in the middle. I'll try to get this the best I can. There we go, that's pretty good. So that goes to the middle. Then we'll do graphene VRT on this side over here. Okay, so again, VRT, all-purpose exterior dressing. On the back side, I'm going to use the graphene VRT. Now, graphene VRT is even more thick than the regular VRT. So you can see, like, as this comes out, it's like, it's very, very thick. I mean, it's like the, at Dairy Queen when they, like, tip your thing over, right? Yeah, the Blizzard. So you can tell I don't go to Dairy Queen because I don't even know what it's called. I'm on that keto diet, so gotta keep it fresh for the no bread and no... Yeah, trying to lose a solid 50 pounds, but okay. So graphene VRT going on over here, and again, you'll see it. Actually, I just need to hit this again to clean it really fast. So this has tire and rubber cleaner in it, and this is one of those IK sprayers. It's just amazing. I love these sprayers. But the tire and rubber cleaner is such a great product. I mean, it works so good for not only removing oxidation from plastic, rubber, and vinyl, but just as a quick hit for cleaning stuff before you, like cleaning the trim before you're gonna put on a dressing. Always recommend to do it really quick. And I'm gonna show you too on the back of Tyler's truck, even though it's a newer truck, it's still like because the back points to the sky, it's fading already. And so I'm gonna show you, like, the tire and rubber cleaner can really help with that. So, all right, so graphene VRT now goes on right here. Okay, so again, I worked the product into the applicator before I started applying it. I just like having a nice even layer. And also what I did is, you know, I put the strip, I'll just show you really fast. Like, what I like to do, it's just a quick tip, detailer tip, is like, you can put the line here, okay? But what I like to do is sort of take this and move it to the edge, okay? So I have product all the way up to this edge. So this little piece right here that kind of seeds to his paint, I can take that edge and really get every aspect of the trim to make it look good. So there goes on graphene VRT, and that went on nice and thick as well. So now what I can do is sort of level off the all-purpose exterior dressing. You can see VRT, they look kind of similar, but VRT tends to, like, over time dry to an extremely, like, matte finish. It definitely adds a richness, but not necessarily, you know, doesn't provide a extreme shininess. And again, I think, like, with Adam's polishes, you know, I mean, a lot of this stuff's designed by Adam, and he's very picky in how he wants stuff to look. I think what we're trying to achieve is a kind of factory looking finish, maybe like a little bit of richness to the color, but we're not trying to give it like an oily look, okay? That's like not what we're here to do. We want the trim to look as if it rolled off of the line the first day, okay? And again, like, treating your trim consistently, whether it's ceramic coated or not, is going to save it from that guy right there, the sun, from really oxidizing this and making it look crappy. And here's the thing, you wash your car, and after your car is washed, if your tires aren't dressed and your trim isn't dressed or looking good, it's like, it almost looks like you didn't even wash your car. So I always make a point that when I'm fully finished washing my car, I go around with my VRT, I dress all my trim, and it's really quick. I mean, I can show you like how fast I like to do it. So I'll use the VRT again on this side. I mean, I'm like going this fast, okay? It's like I'm just going through and I'm applying the VRT very quickly to everything like this. And a little bit goes a long way. And I don't know if you can see this, Elin, but if you get VRT or graphene VRT or all-purpose exterior dressing on the paint or the glass, I did it on the glass because it's much easier to see. It's very, very simple to get off. It's just you're using a microfiber towel, or you could even use a little bit of detail spray, but on these things it tends to wipe off very, very easy. And like the all-purpose exterior dressing being an acrylic formula, that one is going to need a little bit of juice, so you need something like detail spray to kind of get that off. You grab some detail spray. Actually, even better. You know what? I actually saw somebody in the Facebook community page posted about they grab Surface Prep to clean their glass, and they're saying how great it is. So I'm just going to do it here. So you can see that all-purpose exterior dressing comes off instantly, very, very easy. So you don't have to, like I was saying, I kind of, after I'm done washing my car, tend to dress the trim really quick, dress the tires really fast with whatever tire dressing I'm using. And oftentimes I'm using VRT as my tire dressing as well. And so it's just like kind of one fell swoop. And then when I go back through, I'll take my detail spray, because I end up doing a final wipe anyways, just as kind of my OCD when it comes to cleaning. And I'll take my detail spray and spot treat any areas that I maybe missed while washing, or that are a little bit streaky maybe when I was drying, and then I'll just hit my glass and everything all and kind of my final touch of the day. So let me pull these off. We can see kind of what we started with. You can get a nice visual representation of the difference. They're all like fairly similar. I'd say like even a little bit more so, the VRT is gonna flatten out. But this all-purpose exterior dressing, you could probably see it pretty good over here too, Elin, but like you can really see the shininess of it from over here. I mean, not shiny, but it's like a little bit more gloss. So you got the all-purpose exterior dressing there in the middle. You guys got any questions? I mean, I can really answer anything you guys want. I don't know. Tyler's gonna be pretty mad that he has these like non-treated lines. Oh, here's another. So here's another cool thing that another like detailing tip that you guys can do as well. So I don't know as far as your guys' churn as it goes through, like as you go through products. But one thing I do, because I do use VRT quite a bit, is when I get my VRT down to about a quarter left, maybe a little bit, maybe a fifth of the bottle left, kind of down in here, what I do is once I'm starting getting close to that, I order my next bottle. So my next bottle is on its way, of just like a fresh VRT bottle. And then what I do is I take that one that's like about a fifth full and I fill it with water to the top, and you get something like this, which is sprayable VRT. Okay, so this is like an old VRT bottle that, again, kind of got down to here, and I filled it up with water all the way up to here. So now it's like a really thin VRT formula. So then what I do, what I have at my house and what I have here, is I have one version of VRT that's sprayable and one version that's the cream. So when I'm using the cream formula, I'm using it more like I just showed you guys here, which is like putting it on the applicator, rubbing it in, and then I can take this one And on places like this, like the running for tacos, these like brush rails or whatever. Let me just clean this really fast. I can take that sprayable VRT and I can just spray it on here and even it out really quick. I'll show you guys that. And again, this is like powder coated metal, okay? So this isn't even plastic or rubber or any of that stuff. And what I'll do is show you, I'll even do this on here. Try to find the best line. Okay. And then what I can do with the VRT is I can take this and I can just go through here and spray this on here like so. And then take my applicator I was using and just take this and kind of even it out. We have another product called undercarriage spray. I know my boy Justin Noel, he loves that stuff. He buys it like by the gallon because he sprays all of his metal with it and just gives it a nice dark rich black look and really loves it. You know, for off-roading guys, I mean, this stuff, these kind of components on your off-road vehicles can sometimes be hard to keep looking nice. And I think sprayable VRT is just a quick tip from me that you can utilize to keep this stuff like really looking nice. Now, my one thing I will say, my cautionary tale or my caution statement is that VRT tends to be extremely slick when like you're gonna step on it. When you go to step into your car, your foot's gonna slide. So I'm okay with doing it on something like this that you don't utilize these for stepping on. This is more to block brush or like rocks and things from hitting the side of your car. So I'm not too worried about it with these running for taco. Like, I can't remember the technical term for it. Do you know what it is, Elon? They're like rock rails or brush rails, whatever it's called. But anyways,
Marco, can graphene VRT be used on interior panels?
you know, it can. I tend to not use it on the interior. The reason for that is because you can see like it kind of gives a shininess to it, a little bit of a look, which I think is okay on the exterior. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's shiny. It's still like rich black, really has like a nice look to it. Interior, I would say, you know, the interior's a little bit different than the exterior. I think the interior, you know, requires more of like a factory finish. So I tend to use Intailer because not only does Interior Detailer clean, but it also all at like kind of the same time. And I think it just provides the best look for your interior. Just switching the audio. But yeah, I mean, there are no rules in car care. So if you want to put graphene VRT on the inside, there's no, you can do that. Absolutely. Again, I think like the inside kind of requires a different type of chemistry to benefit it versus the exterior where you're, you know, exterior, you're just seeing all the elements and everything. The interior, it's like a little bit different. So that's just my suggestion. But again, I am not like the guy on the top of the mountain like preaching that you can't use that on the interior. If you want, what I always say is try it, and if it's something that you like and you think it's benefiting your interior, keep doing that, keep using it. I think car care is a total personal thing. You know, Elon washes his car different than I wash my car. It's just everyone has sort of their own routine. What we're trying to do at Adams Polishes is help educate people on the fundamentals of detailing, because Adam kind of created these systems that are very unique and super helpful and premium that really give you guys the tools to go explore and do the stuff that you want to do. So kind of keep that in mind. So I was going to talk about too, you can see back here on Tyler's truck, it's starting to fade a little bit, kind of like maybe just a little bit, not too bad actually, but let's see what we can do with this back step here. And I think actually I'm going to use the all-purpose exterior dressing on this one, but listen, because we're car care people and we like seeing results, always got to tape it off. So let me just get some tape off here. Any more questions filtering in?
Not so far. Audio's better.
There we go.
Some people on TikTok are wondering if you put VRT on the tire just to see it.
Yeah,
the
I
sun
can do
fade
VRT on the tire.
It's a little bit hard to see in the shadow, like we're in the shadow.
Yeah,
The sun's getting blocked, so it looks darker, obviously.
Okay.
But I think,
yeah, I mean, his car's not too bad. Another place like to really do this process, do not forget about your cowl. Okay, the cowl is where your hood and your windshield meet, and it's always plastic and it always points to the sky. So this fades faster than anything on your car because it's always in the sun, no matter what. Like maybe certain angles and certain times of the day it's not, but like the majority, the plastic that's in the sun the majority of the time is this cowl right here. So that's something I strongly recommend you consistently dress, you know, every time you wash, like without a doubt, you know. So I'll throw this on here. We can dress this really quick. Like I said, I'm going to use the all-purpose exterior dressing on this one, but I do want to clean this one side first. Actually, you know, trim is one of those things I feel like is, you know, if like people on here that are, you know, clean their trim and do it consistently, kind of know probably where I'm coming from. But it's one of those things that, you know, I think if you can sort of treat it as part of your like washing process, maybe not your washing process, maybe more like your dressing process. So like during the times of when you're going to dress your tires and make those look nice, do the same thing to all the trim. You know, I think it's kind of one of those things where it kind of completes the look and makes it like look really nice. And I think it's just one of those things that's super important. And again, like with plastic having the ability to oxidize really fast from the sun, you kind of need to consistently clean it and dress it and things like that. So let's do the all-purpose exterior dressing. I'm just using the same sponge. Here we go. So we'll just do one spray. The other thing too is you can like spray this onto the thing and even it out. And like I showed you, you know, here just a second ago, like if you want to do this with graphene VRT, you can do that as well, you know. I like, so on a textured thing like this, where this flat applicator is a little bit harder to get into the nooks and crannies, I do like to kind of spray this in here like so, and then even it out. I think what it does is it ends up getting into more places that you can't. I feel like when I spray it into the applicator and use it, sometimes I miss those nooks and crannies versus when you just spray it in and like even it out later, it tends to get all the areas that I couldn't get. And also what it does too is, like, I was just wiping through here and I was gonna go to here. I saw that I hadn't evened all this out, just sitting in this little light thing to like light his license plate. So I could easily see it. So I'll just even that out. And then, like, you know, back over here, right here, I can really see all of the dressing hanging out, and I know the areas I need to even out as I go through and do this. So that's one thing about the all-purpose exterior dressing that I do like, is the ability of it to spray. And, you know, just to talk about comparisons between all-purpose exterior dressing and VRT, including graphene VRT, is number one, first off the bat, the main difference is the sprayable aspect. Okay, so the all-purpose exterior dressing, really great product in the spray aspect. Okay, so it's something that you could actually use to really dress an engine very, very well, very easy. Okay.
How well does that dressing hold up in rain?
This dressing holds up very well in rain.
Yeah.
I'd say it's probably, other than like graphene VRT, I think that it probably lasts, it's like on par with the longevity. So very, very great. So again, it's like an acrylic polymer that is protecting it, but also lasts a little bit longer. So really, really great product. You know, I'd say this is probably something that's gonna last, I don't know, maybe a month or a couple months. As far, it might start to lose its gloss just a touch after 3 weeks to a month, but the look and richness of color of your trim will kind of hold for a couple months. So really great product for that. I really like this product a lot. I think, listen, I've been working in Allen's Polishes for 10 years. So when I first started here, VRT was like a staple in the line. And so it's just something that I think it's just like a routine for me that I tend to grab VRT more often, because I'm like, oh yeah, I remember using this when I first started doing this car care stuff, you know? Actually, I want to do this really fast. Put this on here. Right after this, I'm actually gonna, somebody asked on the live, I hope they're still on here, but to dress a tire with VRT so you can see that. So I'll do that here in a second. And actually, I have a tip on that, because I think it's something that's sort of unique. I think it's something that Adam and I think about when it comes to dressing tires, and maybe not necessarily everybody thinks about. But you want me to pull this off?
Yeah, you ready?
Actually, do you want me to put another tape on here and do like in and out spray here? So
Yeah, we should show the in and out spray. We haven't shown that yet.
Look how perfect this came out.
Yeah, that's nice.
That is sexy.
That stuff is good. I still like the graphene VRT for my tires.
Do you?
Yeah,
Keelan's a graphene VRT guy.
and for the trim, like on the E30 with that older trim.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's so nice.
Okay, so tape line here, and what we wanted to show you is the in and out spray really quick. Oh, just bang Tyler's truck. Need to get a dent guy out now. Okay, so I'll clean really fast. Okay, and then in and out spray. So in and out spray, again, like I said, is like more along the lines of VRT in regards to like what it's gonna look like. But the unique thing about in and out spray is it's this aerosol. So I don't know if you can see this when I spray this. It's like,
Yep.
right? So it's nice, really super thin. And I'm gonna tell you this right now too. What I see a lot of times is people using in and out spray like this. Okay, like just pull the trigger and move it. Now what happens is it gets really, really thick. So the best technique when it comes to using in and out spray is quick sprays. You move your hand in quick sprays because it goes on really even like this, and it doesn't pool up in areas. And you can just go through, do this really quick. And the thing I love about in and out spray is it can get into all these nooks and crannies that you can't necessarily get with with the VRT. So look at that, I'm done dressing that. That's how easy it is. And again, doing the quick pulls and moving your hand, I think really helps so it doesn't pull up and then you have to even it out anyways. When you do it with like quick sprays and nice thin layers, it tends to work just a little bit better. So.
And then how, sorry,
Oh yeah, it looks so good.
how long does the in and out spray last?
In and out spray is doesn't have as much longevity as like the all-purpose exterior dressing or even VRT. You know, I'd probably give the in and out spray, I don't know, maybe a few weeks, maybe like 3 weeks of longevity. But I'll be honest, in and out spray, sometimes I use it like on the exposed area of the vehicle. I'd say in and out spray, I'll show you exactly where I use in and out spray 99.9% of the time.
And then is it self-leveling?
Yeah, it's self-leveling. So, well, again, like I showed you the technique, you know, if you're using the technique of just holding it down and spraying it and it pulls up, then I would say you need to level it off and make it look better. But if you are doing kind of like this type of technique, just like quick sprays, you don't really need to level it off. It kind of does it on its own.
Yep.
But-
And then Mark said he uses it on the engine bay to look like
Exactly.
factory new.
That's got to be Mark Dressel. He's on here.
Mm-hmm.
Mark, dude, what do you do? You just hang out at your house and watch the live. But I'm just kidding. I love that Mark's on here, and he's very active on the Facebook community page, which I'm very thankful for. So
Yep.
I love seeing you on there, Mark, and hopefully sometime you could make it out here and we can hang out and clean a car together, because I think I could learn some stuff from you. But Mark's right. Yeah, like using it on the engine bay, that would probably be like, I use it on there quite a bit. I'll be honest, I use the graphene spray coating on my engine bay because I do tend to clean my engine bay pretty consistently. Like maybe every second or third wash, I spray my engine bay down, and I use the spray coating on that because I can coat all the hoses and all the broad surfaces, and then when I go back to clean it the next time, it makes it much easier to clean. So I use the graphene ceramic spray coating advanced on my engine bay. It's more on this grill is where I like to use the in and out spray. And especially like here, you have like this super textured like plastic. So you can just give these quick hits and it'll just make it look so perfect in all these kind of nooks and crannies that I can't necessarily get to while I'm, putting the dressing on. So I would say, like, if you're using VRT or graphene VRT and there's areas of your car, like your grill, even like right here, like in between his light bar here, this Baja Designs light bar, like I can kind of hit this really quick with the in and out spray and it will make it look awesome. But like any area that's a little bit harder to use an applicator to dress, I tend to use the in and out spray to get into those like nooks and crannies, things like that. And again, this is, when I first saw Adam using this product and he was doing this, like where he's doing like these quick, it's like he's painting graffiti or something. But when I saw him do it, I was like, why don't you just hold the trigger down and do it? He's like, well, it will pull up and then you have to use the applicator when you might as well just use VRT in that instance, right? You use these quick hits of the spray to make it a little bit more thin. And then you don't have to go back and even it out. You may have to go back and wipe it off the paint, things like that, but you're not having to take an applicator and go through and even it out all the time. So another thing, if anybody's on here that builds custom cars, this is a great product for like tires that sit on the back of a car, or like tires that, like this tread, this tread you couldn't put an applicator in. And if you have tires on display, you can take this in and out spray. Granted, these tires are like really dirt, but you could go through and dress those tires for a show with in and out spray and it will look really, really great. So there you go. There's in and out spray. I think it's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody again wanted to see.
Yeah, I want to show this back a little bit.
Yeah, this came out really good.
Yeah. Which one is it? The all-purpose?
That's
exterior dressing?
yeah. Here, I'll go like this. Ready? So this is all-purpose exterior dressing. I don't know if you can see that, maybe I can move it if you need me to.
You can still see it pretty well. Again, we're in the shade. The sun's coming from the other direction, so looks real nice though.
I'm gonna try to apply some. We'll do some VRT on this tire over here when you're ready.
Yep.
Ideally, I would want to clean these tires first, but I think it's fine to just show it. But Tyler actually was just in Moab, so he got some pretty. Go on Instagram at Tyler Roberts. See his last picture. It's pretty sweet, actually. I'm actually headed to Moab here in the middle of this month for a spring break trip with my family, so I'm super pumped. Okay, so I'm just gonna say this right now. I'm gonna show VRT. I'm gonna show it like right here, and then I'm also gonna show you the issue I have with applying VRT to a tire like this. I actually have the same exact model tire, the Falken AT3W. By the way, really great tire. I love this tire. But the one thing about dressing a tire that has like aggressive tread block is with VRT, it's very difficult to get it into all these areas, right? So like the textured lettering, the big, the texture on the top of the sidewall, the big tread right here. Using VRT, so check this out. Using VRT, just want to usually put a lot on for this. So VRT goes on. But what makes it really hard to do is get it into, especially like this lettering. I mean, I would be here for, so like this, you can see this right here. Like it goes on the nice sidewall really easy, but when you get here, it doesn't hit it. And also, because I have to load VRT in this area, like right here. Okay, so I talked about this earlier in the video, but when I get to kind of a fifth left of my VRT bottle, I fill it up with water. So then I have watered down VRT like this, or some people like to call it sprayable VRT. So now what I can do is take the sprayable VRT, and this is the same concept of using tire shine or graphene tire dressing, but I can take this and spray this into the tread, okay? And then I can also spray it into the lettering here, okay? And then I take my applicator and I go and I just even everything out. And what makes it so effective is that I can get it into all the textured things without it. I mean, here it did a little bit pulled up. I just have so much in this applicator, but I can just go and even this out. It's gonna look really nice, really even. I just need to, it's a little bit more efficient, a little bit more easy, So that's another reason why I like to have graphene VRT as a spray, or sorry, not graphene VRT, just any sort of VRT in like a sprayable formula. And that goes with the graphene VRT as well. Once you get to a quarter of a bottle, maybe more like a fifth of a bottle of the VRT, order your next 16 ounce of the
gallon.
Gallon. But I tend to have like 2 bottles of VRT with me, one sprayable, one's not. So I don't know if that's a helpful tip for people on here or not.
Yeah, while we're at it, wheels and rims, how do you clean OEM black rims? This is off TikTok here.
How do you clean OEM black rims?
Yeah,
I would say, so one thing I would tell you, this person on TikTok here, is like OEM black rims tend to be a little bit more, I don't know, they can, well, I guess, first off, my question for you, and if you're willing to answer this on here, is what kind of car is it? So if it's a car that has more like performance style brakes, like a BMW M5, M3, Porsche, or if it's even like a Volkswagen Golf R, sort of like, or an Audi, like an Audi, I don't know, S5, something like that. If it's a little bit more performance based, I would highly recommend using our standard wheel cleaner, so Adams Polish's wheel cleaner, and then use a tire and rubber cleaner to be able to clean the tires and the rubber. The reason for that is performance cars have performance brakes, which have a lot of metallic brake dust, and our wheel cleaner breaks that down. So I don't know if you've seen in some of our posts, or I mean, you've seen this throughout our industry, is you spray wheel cleaner on it, it like turns purple. That's a raw chemical called thioglycolate, which actually breaks down the metal, and it turning purple is its natural reaction with the thioglycolate breaking down the metal. And so it works the best for removing metallic brake dust, heavy brake dust, things like that. Now, if you're talking more about like a truck or something that's like a non-performance car, so let's say a Toyota 4Runner or a Ford Explorer, maybe it's a Ford F-150, don't want to leave everyone out, so a Ram 1500, Chevy Silverado, something a little bit SUV type of car, then I would recommend using the wheel and tire cleaner. So it's like kind of one product, you know, takes kind of the concept of tire and rubber cleaner and wheel cleaner and puts it into one product of tire and rubber, or sorry, of wheel and tire cleaner. And that product works amazing to just a little bit more efficient. You're just using one product and actually cleans tires really, really well. And in fact, what I would tell you to do is if you go to adamspolishes.com, go to the exterior drop down menu, it drops down, the first section is called wheels and tires, and the last kind of choice of that says kits. If you click that, there's actually some very specific kits to like the type of car you have, the type of wheel you have, and that gives like great direction as to like not only the kit that you can buy, but also like just good information about like how do I clean OEM black wheels, or how do I clean, you know, super delicate, you know, like billet aluminum wheels, because there's a whole nother product for that as well, which is called Eco Wheel Cleaner. But if you go to the kits page of our wheels and tires, it has some really great direction of like kind of what you need, and it sort of it makes you ask the question of like, okay, well, I don't know, what kind of car do I have? You know, do I have a Jeep Grand Cherokee like this? Well, wheel and tire cleaner is probably the best product for that. So
Cool.
Yeah. All right, I don't know if there's any more questions that I can address, I will, but I think other than that, I'm pretty much done. You know, I think he has his tonneau cover here, and actually Dan Tiger, who's usually on with us, said, hey, can you do something on tonneau covers? I'll just say this. Your tonneau cover is something you kind of treat like the rest of your car, where you're washing it. So you're washing it with your wash pad and soap, you're foaming it down with your foam can and all that stuff. My best recommendation to protecting a tonneau cover is using the spray coating. So the graphene ceramic spray coating, whether that be the regular silver label or the advanced gold label. If you apply spray coating to this, it will benefit you immensely. It's just, this is a vinyl material, and once you put that hydrophobic layer of protection on there, it makes cleaning it 1,000 times easier. So make sure you clean it, and then once it's dry, apply the graphene ceramic spray coating, and your tonneau cover will be just so easy to clean and awesome. So that would be my only tip on a tonneau cover. So any last questions?
No, everyone's just excited to use the products that they
Cool.
ordered and what they like.
Sweet.
Why they likes Tire Shine.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, like,
Graphene VRT.
yeah, like tire shines, tire dressings, trim dressings, it's like every person has like a different preference. You know, some people, I actually saw on the Facebook community page, someone used Tire Shine for like the first time, and they're like, I don't know, I think I like it better than all the other ones. And I'm like, that's so cool that, like, you know, they've been using one thing, they tried the next thing, and they're like, I love it. But now what they have the option to do is, hey, do I want to wear my gloss black, you know, tuxedo shoes, or do I want to just wear my matte looking dress shoes? It's kind of the same idea. It's like you get to customize and do different things every time you wash your car and do that. And again, just to reiterate, you know, I think Tire Armor is a great product, but if you have newer tires or tires that tend to have a lot of tire blooming consistently, you know, I recommend putting a tire dressing on and cleaning that every time. So And actually, you guys can see this. This is like starting to really create a matte finish with that VRT, which that's part of why I like this product so much. Is it's dry to the touch, so I don't have anything on my hands, but it's like a matte looking finish, but just like a richness in color.
And then, how are all the dressings? How do they hold up with rain? Like,
how do they hold up with rain?
Yeah, kind of each one. If you
so
quick,
here, I'll just do like a quick last over with this, so you guys can sort of see it. And actually, I'll put them back here, because it's a little bit, I think, easier to
stand them up,
and you can see them a little bit better. Okay, go here. We got this guy here. Okay, so what I would say is probably the product that's gonna have the least amount of longevity is gonna be your VRT and in-and-out spray. Now, the least longevity is gonna be in-and-out spray for sure. Okay, VRT is gonna last a little bit longer, so I would kind of say VRT lasts, probably to your next wash. So call it here's the thing, that's like such a loaded statement because some people wash every 3 days and some people wash every 3 months. So I would say this would probably last you about a month. Let's call it about a month with VRT. And the thing that's helping it, withstand in the rain is there's actually a little bit of silica in here, SiO2. So that just helps, kind of creates a hydrophobic effect, makes it shed water and things like that. But it's more about like the sun that's like really beating down on it that's making it not last as long. So let's call it VRT like a month. We'll call in-and-out spray 2 weeks to 3 weeks maybe. Now getting into graphene VRT, I'd probably give this more like a month and a half. Okay, so again, and realize like that doesn't mean that like after a month and a half it went from like looking great to then just like a light switch goes on and now it doesn't look good. It's like a gradual thing. So you might lose some of the sheen after the first few weeks, but it will still have like the richness and color, to keep your trim still looking good, but might get back to time to, reapplying it. But I would say, listen, every region, in Colorado, trim gets destroyed faster than anywhere because we're the closest place to the sun, right? So the UV rays here are way more, not way more, but they're a little bit more intense than say when you're in Florida. Okay, so just a little bit different, just something to think about too. Now, all-purpose exterior dressing. So graphene VRT, just realize this is not like a coating. This has reduced graphene oxide in it to bolster the formula to make it last a little bit longer. So that's why it lasts a little bit longer than regular VRT, okay? Now, all-purpose exterior dressing having a gloss acrylic polymer in it designed to last a little bit longer. This is probably gonna last more in like the 2 month, maybe 2.5 month range, withstanding just any sort of element, whether that's snow, rain, and like the sun. So this is kind of in sequence longevity of, in-and-out spray is going to last the shortest amount of time, moving to VRT, graphene VRT, and then lastly, all-purpose exterior dressing. So, and then again, like I'm talking about dressings today, but realistically what I like to do is, ceramic coat your trim for sure. And then when you want to just touch it up, putting lipstick on kind of, you throw some dressing on there to like really make it stand out after a wash. And more of the ceramic coating is what's beating the water and doing things like that. So I hope that's a good explanation for longevity and things like that. So
yeah.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching the weekly live today. We're going to be live again next week on Wednesday, same exact time. We do this every single Wednesday. So every Wednesday at 1 o'clock Mountain Standard Time or whatever time it is in Denver, we go live. Next week, I think I want to get more into the ceramic coating stuff. So I think what I want to do is talk about the graphene ceramic coating advanced and kind of best practices when it comes to applying the graphene ceramic coating advanced. So that's the little 60 ml bottle. We get a lot of inquiries about, hey, like left high spots or this and that. So I think next week what we'll do is I'll prepare a car, get it nice and polished, and then we'll start applying the graphene ceramic coating advanced and give you guys a chance to ask questions and think about, and I don't know, maybe if I can convince our VP of marketing, maybe I'll do a giveaway. So maybe we'll give away a graphene ceramic coating advanced kit. So thank you guys for watching. and I will catch you guys next week.
Oh, I guess I didn't. Hello?